Hello everybody, this is Tisha Mahar and this is your weekly video. This week I want to talk to you about yoga. As most of you guys know, it's pretty much my most favorite thing in the world. And today what I want to do specifically is try to help and guide you towards the practice, the type of yoga that is best for your personality, for where you are at this stage in your life. So essentially there are many styles of yoga, but at the root, all of them have the same aim. Yoga means union, and essentially the goal of any yoga practice is to unite more fully your body, your mind, and your spirit. Yoga is meant to quiet your mind. It's designed to help you tune into your breath, help you tap into your intuition. It's wonderful for building more self-awareness. And it's great, obviously, for helping you relieve stress and anxiety and even depression. Yoga is wonderful. And if you've never tried it before, I truly encourage you to get to a class and try. If you don't know what style is the right one for you, this is where I hope I can help you today. So the first practice that I want to mention to you is called Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga is a much slower moving yoga than some of the others that I'm going to mention today. It's very accessible to pretty much everybody. In the Hatha practice, you're basically going to do one posture, and then there's going to be a pause, and then you're going to do the next one, and then there's going to be a pause. It's not continuously moving, so it's easy to follow along for that reason. It's not so much a workout as some of the other styles that I'm going to mention, but again, it'll still help you to build some strength, to gain some more flexibility, and again, it's just a great place to begin. The next style that I want to mention to you is called Vinyasa yoga. And Vinyasa is a very dynamic practice. It links movement and breath together, so you're almost continuously flowing when you attend a Vinyasa class. It's very strengthening. Generally, you're doing a lot more arm work. So you're doing vinyasas are basically this flow of postures where you're going from a downward dog into a plank into an upward dog. This is called a vinyasa, and these are sewn together in within the sequence that you're doing. So vinyasa is I would say more of a workout, for example, than Hatha yoga. And yeah, it's a beautiful practice. I love Vinyasa. The next one that I want to mention to you is Ashtanga yoga. And similarly to Vinyasa, Ashtanga classes often are very flow-based. So you're doing postures, but you're also flowing through Vinyasas, sun salutations, as well. The main thing to note about Ashtanga is that Ashtanga is a set sequence. It's based on a set sequence. So Hatha, if you go to a Hatha class or a Vinyasa class, the sequence of poses that you're going to do it's going to be very much based on what the teacher decides for that class. So every class is going to be a little bit different. But with Ashtanga, it's a little bit more predictable because the postures are set ahead of time. The same is true with Bikram yoga, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But I'll just finish with Ashtanga. Ashtanga is generally much more of an athletic style of yoga. You're going to really build strength, core, arms, legs, everything, full body. You're going to get some good sweat going, probably. Ashtanga classes are often also leveled. So you might see like a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. So you can choose your starting point as well based on that. Yeah, so that's the main differentiating factor between Ashtanga and, for example, Vinyasa and Hatha. It's very much set. It's a more structured practice. It's really popular amongst people who crave something a little bit more strict and structured and who love a disciplined practice. Bikram is similar. It's based on a set sequence. It's much more structured, much more disciplined, but the sequence is very, very different compared to Ashtanga. And I wouldn't say that the Bikram practice is really that difficult. It's a very accessible for beginners. What makes it more difficult is the fact that you're doing the postures in the heat. So this is the main thing that differentiates Bikram from the others I've mentioned so far. It's a form of hot yoga. You may also have heard of moksha yoga. This is another type of yoga that's done in the heat. So as you can see, there's so many kinds. So basically, Bikram is a hot yoga practice, as is moksha. These are also very popular. And yeah, they're super detoxifying. They are, again, really good for those of you who really like structure, who really like discipline, who really like to be able to see themselves progressing, because it's the same every time. You can tell, oh, my posture today is much deeper than it was this time last week, that type of thing. Kundalini yoga is a style of practice that's based around a lot of repetitive movements and a lot of really intense breath work. Kundalini is all about moving energy that may be stagnant or trapped in the body. I find it very mentally intense because of all the breath work and all the focusing that you're doing on your different energetic centers. It also often incorporates a lot of singing and chanting and meditation. So if that's something that appeals to you, Kundalini would be a good place to go. Restorative yoga and yin yoga are on a very different spectrum than all of the other practices that I've mentioned. Yin yoga and restorative yoga are much more chill. So if you're somebody who's super stressed out, if you are, really drained, if your body is feeling exhausted, this would be a good place to go for you. So in yoga and in everything in life, we have these two energies. We have a yang energy and we have a yin energy. And we really want to balance both. So things that are yang are physical, they're strong, they're fast moving. They are things like sunshine and hot and all of these energies. Yin things are calm and quiet and still and soft and surrendering. And so basically, we want to nourish both of these energies in our life, in our activities, etc. So if you're doing a ton of yang, if you're working a lot, if you're going to the gym a lot, if you're stressed, yang, 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 you might want to start with a little bit more yin. If, on the other hand, you feel unmotivated and you feel stagnant and stuck and like you're gaining weight and you can't get moving, you might want to go with something a little bit more energetic. I hope that's making sense. Yin is a beautiful practice. This is something that I teach very often, especially with my private clients. It is beautifully meditative. It helps you really get in touch with what you're feeling, what you might be repressing. It helps you really get in touch with the anxiety that you might be holding so that you can really start to send your attention to that and breathe through it and breathe it out of you. Yin is great for deep stretching. So in a yin yoga practice, you are on the floor for the entire practice and you're holding postures for long periods of time. This allows you to move much deeper into the body so that you can get to the deep-rooted tensions that you might be holding and alleviate them. In all of the other styles of practice that I mentioned, you're holding postures for a short time, like 30 seconds or so. In yin yoga, you're holding the postures for minutes at a time. So though yin yoga isn't intense because of the pace, like you're not moving quickly, so it's less intense in that way, it can be very intense because of the long holds that take you super, super deep. So if you're like a runner or somebody who has really tight hips, yin yoga is going to feel intense because you're really going to get in there. A lot of yin yoga actually works the hips. All of us pretty much have tight hips these days, so yin is wonderful for that. But again, I want to stress that yin is really, really, really great as well for the mind. Restorative yoga is the most chill of everything I've mentioned. In restorative yoga, you're almost getting a big yoga hug / having a nap. In restorative yoga, there's often props involved, bolsters, things like that. So you're laying back. The teacher will just be talking you through, maybe sometimes reading little stories or poems or something, and you're just kind of chilling out for the most part. And then you move into another chill out kind of a posture. But it is a great practice if you just need to, gently learn to like relax your muscles, if you need to be in a supportive environment and to just focus on your breath. Awesome. Especially it's great for people with serious injuries. The teachers can help and prop you in certain ways so that you can really open up, but in a very gentle way. So those guys are the main types of yoga that you're going to see when you look at a schedule. There are some others. Anusara, a lot of focus on back bending in Anusara, which I'm a huge fan of. Jivamukti yoga, it's a very playful style of vinyasa practice. Iyengar yoga is a very common one too. In Iyengar, you're doing a lot of alignment-based work. You're doing a lot of inversions. There's a lot of use of props. So also, again, very good for people who are maybe limited in some ways or who have injuries. I think that gives you a really good overview of all the different types of yoga. But there's even now ganja yoga, where like the idea is you smoke marijuana and then you do yoga. Or I've seen people teaching chocolate yoga where you eat like raw cacao first and then do a yoga class. Like there is everything these days. But again, these are the main styles that you're going to see when you approach a studio or you do a search for a studio near your home. So I, again, really encourage you to check out yoga, to try a class. Don't be intimidated. Everybody felt that way when they first started. So everybody went to their first class feeling a little bit nervous, like, oh, are the people around me going to be watching? And nobody is watching you. Everyone is there because they have their own stuff that they're dealing with. Again, it is a very supportive environment. It's very different than like going to, a gym in that way. So really don't be afraid and really check it out because it can seriously help you in so many ways. Not just physically. Yes, yoga will help to build strength and, tone your body and, all of that, but it's really bigger than that. It truly does help you heal your heart, The other thing I want to say is somebody was asking me, can yoga or is yoga enough for weight loss? So depending on the type of yoga that you choose, there's going to be a dramatic difference in, how much you're raising your metabolic rate in terms of how many calories you are burning. Ashtanga yoga and Vinyasa yoga and Bikram yoga will likely deliver a higher calorie burn than, for example, yin or Kundalini maybe, or restorative practice. But this is what I want you to think about. When it comes to our food, right? I talk about this a lot in my group with my people on Facebook. When it comes to food, it's about so much more than the particulars that are on our plate. So many times we are eating for emotional reasons. We're eating because of anxiety. We're eating out of boredom, all kinds of stuff. So the wonderful thing about yoga is that as you become more connected to what's going on with you emotionally, mentally, what stress you're holding, all of these things inside are often what is causing us to eat. So, like to eat when we're not hungry, of course. So beyond physical hunger, there's a lot of eating that's still happening. So this is where yoga can really benefit your weight goal, your body goal, whatever it is that you have, your weight loss goal, because yoga truly helps cultivate mindfulness. And the more mindful and present you become, the less you're going to impulsively eat / overeat or choose poorly. The other thing is that yoga makes you feel so good that you naturally start to choose healthier foods. You feel so good after that you really don't want to eat something that's going to lower your energy. So I hope that makes sense. Can yoga help weight loss? Absolutely. Especially if you're somebody who has a hunch that your issues with your body, with your weight, might have more to do with, calories and that kind of thing. If you're somebody who tends to eat emotionally, then yoga will hugely help you lose weight. Thanks as always for watching, you guys. I would really love, for those of you who are not already in my group, if you would join. We have a wonderful community and there's a lot of support there, and there's a new year just around the corner, and I am really excited about helping as many people as I can achieve whatever goals they have for this year. So you can join my group on Facebook. It's called TESHIA'S GROUP. Just type that into the search bar and request to join, and I will add you. I will accept you. And then you can post your questions, you can post your resolutions, and I'm in there every single day trying to help. I really feel that my purpose here is, or my dharma, so to speak, is to help people find their way and to really help people along this path of wellness as it relates to yoga and food. So yeah, would love to help you. Thanks as always for watching, and have a great rest of your week. Or, geez, it's Friday now. Almost Friday? Friday tomorrow. I'm losing touch of time. Have a great weekend. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.